Okay.
Mainly about what's going on in that 1613. Did you get that?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, this here represents my dear friend. Bless him. We love him. This is his home. The man was a beautiful gentleman.
Hold on one
I
second.
was a poor broken man with nowhere to go, a child under my wing I could hardly keep alive. And my wife. That's a whole other thing. I'll leave that up to me. So, this man had been nice enough to let us move in this little room right about back into there. He let us rent the room, live in the room, and love in the room. It's a wonderful, wonderful friend. So, if I may, this house and this man, for me, I will always repair, paint, build, rebuild. I will do what it takes to keep it standing tall. My friend is my friend to the end. So then, here is the layout of the home from above. We have it all low. In all, we have 8 people and a half. The half will be my son. Pets, they had 4 little dogs, 1 big pit bull, and 2 kitty cats. And some kind of weasel or something, okay? Now, there's a man in a shack living in the backyard. Bobby boy. Oh, Bobby. He says he's a coyote or something. Okay, now, here's the layout. In the garage, 2 people. Indian, Kim and James. A couple. Just a slight different from other people. But they're cool. Okay, and then we have Roger. You know Roger, or Roger Dodger. We have Josh's son in the living room. We have Johnny, his brother, in the middle room. Son of Roger, yes. And the Van Horns, me, the wife, and the little spunky little tyke. And in the driveway we have an RV, a camper. His name is Patrick. He does tricks, you know, Patrick. He does different tricks, and they're pretty neat. And so that makes 8 people and a half. So the eviction. Oh, excuse me. The eviction. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. The eviction should be this blank page. The only one on the eviction would be. Can't find it. Oh, me and my wife. What happened to the other people? Gone, out. So, what I'm saying here is, the landlord I've never seen. I thought there was no landlord. I thought the Womax had owned it. Nope, wrong. I was wrong. There's a little Chinese man, Japanese Chinese man in Fairfield that owns this house, and he owns it. But I've never seen him before. I've never spoken to him. One day he sends a paper in the mail evicting me. I guess it was me. He says it was me, but he has called me a different name. I've never met him. He's never met me. He's continuing this till I have an eviction on my record. And as I get these evictions on my record, my son, my wife, my family is not going to have a roof for very long because of this eviction. Is it legal? Yes. But is it legal to have the wrong name? No. It's not legal. Does he know who he is evicting? And has he ever met me? No. Does he talk to me?
I thought you
No.
moved out a month after Roger died.
Well, here's the thing. Roger had died. Our rent was paid, but $100 because our AFTC had went down. So we were down 100. He had sent us, after he died, a month later, a statement of $3,500 plus attorney fees that we had to pay or quit. 3-day notice. Well, I didn't get that notice until maybe 2 to 3 months after, because I had not lived there after he had passed. I moved across the street. Across the street. In the same street, same block, right across the way. And this man continues to evict me. Only me and my wife. The lady that has been, the man that has taken his life, his wife, ex-wife, wife, had given him information of my name and my name only, which he had put into a little folder, and now he's evicting us. For what? I don't know. I don't live there. Why does he feel that I live there? Because the lady told him. He believes the lady. Matter of fact, she says she signed a document saying she would do this, that, the other, and then the signature was there, and there was a date to do it all, including me. So he asked who's still there. She mentioned only me. Is that fair? They've lived there over 10, 15 years. The kids were brought up there from birth. Is it fair for me to be only one on that eviction? Is it fair for them to evict me with a fee of repairs and damages of what their family did when I only been there?
And what the people are doing now that are in there.
I've only been there for 2.5 years. There's people there now. Partially the lady's family, Kim's family, is there. Their friends are there. Other people are there. The damages are still being done. That's not on me. I moved out. I can prove it. I can prove it. The neighbors will tell you. When you get there and get them out, you see the day there's nothing of me there. All I want to know is, why do I get it on my record when the people that are there are the ones that did all the damage and that are still there? The mother didn't even mention those kids that are her family that are still there, that are still occupying the place with stolen goods and damages on holes and all kinds of traffic going on. Who knows? But since the landlord doesn't...
I heard there's prostitutes living there now too.
The landlord would go there, he would have a whole book of wrongful things going on there. But he has never come for over 10 years. Supposedly he came once to knock, never came back. I don't understand. What I do understand is that if my son and my family cannot get a place, a roof over their head here in the future because of that eviction, I feel sorry for the money that would be paid to me for being put out falsely from a hearsay event. What do you think? I think I have something to stand on when I am having trouble finding a place over something.
Okay, now you did not receive that eviction notice because it said to file in 5 days. You did not receive that in the 5 days, so you are going to file a lawsuit, though, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I had when I first had gotten the information in the mail, or when I got it from somebody that had given me my mail, there were the eviction papers, and I had called the landlord right away, and the owner himself said, if you do not live there, you do not have nothing to worry about.
That's right.
So this is the reason why I went back home, which I did not live there, and did not plan to be around there since that eviction was going into process. So I had to go to work and continue my day. So by the time the last
5-day notice, sheriff's notice.
5-day detainer,
The sheriff's notice,
unlawful detainer had taken place and ended. The period was over to file, and the whole thing was ended. The judgment has been made. Well, I know that what he told me was to don't worry about it if you're not living there. These papers kept coming and coming and coming. He has never shown up.
And they've waited 4 months to even do anything. That's where
from the day that the man that took his life, 4 months had passed, and that man that owns the house has never even came by one time. I've been paid up. I have proof. People that know that I've been paid up from the day he died. I was paid up my rent. the damages that are done there were there before I came there. I was there almost 3 years, going around 4 years. Those damages were already there. The roaches were there. Everything.
Tell us about the roaches.
The roaches. I've never seen as many roaches in a house.
Tell
in my life.
Tell me what you've had to do in your room.
I had to throw out at least 2 months to 3 months. I had to throw out clothes that I had worn, appliances, furniture that I had bought from the store, brand new, and all kinds of personal items that were ruined by these roaches. Okay, so
just tell them what would happen, what you had to do. I mean, you had your baby, and you had to. You told me that they're coming in the room when you had the baby, and you had to tape. You tried to tape off the room at one time or something, didn't you?
Well, this is what I did. When I moved there, I seen roaches. I took the whole floor up. I sprayed and took the whole hardwood floor around the edges up. Sprayed and treated the surface and put down the floor and sealed the floor shut. And there were more roaches after that immediately. So, in my mind, while we were sleeping, my kid is on the floor sleeping with all these roaches crawling all over him. Is that fair? No. I had mentioned it, and this sooner down the line, this exterminator comes, and he starts spraying the yard. Not in the house, the yard. The next day, he comes back, sprays one room, the kitchen, and leaves. He said he wasn't spraying any rooms when the doors were closed. So, and he never came back. Well, I know that I'm not going to pay further any more rent if these roaches do not go away. Why should I? I didn't pay for roaches in the first place. If I knew there was roaches, I wouldn't have moved in. Nobody in their right mind would. So I lowered, what I did was I paid rent, but I lowered it. We agreed to a lower rent from $600 to $400. And that's what we agreed on. As far as any other new rent that was raised, I have no idea of any of that. All I know is of the roaches that were infesting my room and my belongings and my everything.
How was it to cook there? How was it to cook?
You have to accept that if a roach had fallen in the food while I was cooking, that's a given. It may happen. That's how many there were. There were so many that you have to accept that because you have to eat sometime. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
was there anything else that stood out particularly about the house itself that was concern and damaging to the health and peace and that you lived there?
Well, we have dogs. They had dogs that would literally use the bathroom in the hallway that we crossed to use the bathroom. I would step in their pee, step in their poop, and to get to the bathroom in the night, and nobody would clean it up but me. I cleaned it up because I knew it was never going to be done, and they were not going to change anything to make that not happen. My son would be stepping in it, not even knowing that he stepped in it. It would be tracked all over in the house, and they would blame my son for having a dirty diaper. Isn't that not right?
No.
They would be up, walking over the poop, and keep going and ignore it. When I mentioned it,
Was this Kim's sons?
Oh, but they're Rogers and his wife's kids. Grown kids at that. Now.
Who put the holes in the wall?
Well, supposedly they had real anger problems. All of them were fit with anger issues. And they got angry, they broke doors, they put holes in the wall, they broke windows. They took the anger out on the house. And for that, I think that I've repaired every one of them that since I moved there that I could, without pay, without anything. I did it on my own because Roger was my friend.
Okay. And we're going to take a break right now. But how do you feel about? Do you miss Roger?
Very much. Every time that I even think of just that house or going or just that house, I think of what a friend that he was, of just saving my family.
Okay. We're going to come back to this a little bit later on.
Okay.
So,
Right.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Van Horn.
Mr. Van Horn.